short as possible. So
All right.
my wife, she and I just got married a couple months back in September, as a matter of fact. She's been in the
Okay.
industry now. She's been in the industry now for longer than I have, probably since probably 1990. And she ran our West Palm Beach office, and now she moved up here and took over my practice.
Okay.
But she is a recovering loan officer, meaning her performance has always been predicated on whether or not she did a good job in the loan. That's what she did every single day. That's what she lived with. And we know the difference between being an originator and a loan officer. We've talked about that, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
And the biggest difference is that a loan officer is the person that handles the details of pushing the file along, and the originator is the one that originates the relationship. So recently, within the last 60 days, we got a referral. One of my past clients, a longtime past client of mine, referred me somebody, and the client called me, and I put him in touch with Denise, and Denise scheduled the appointment. And I said to her, I said, I want to come in and do the opening presentation. I think a lot of what we do on a daily basis, we stop thinking like an originator, and we perform more of a function of being a loan officer when it comes time to meet with our clients. And one of the vital pieces became very relevant to me in this little scenario that I'm playing out for you. So anyway, this guy Martin comes in, him and his wife, they sit down, and I am literally over the top with my whole referable speech, the triangle of trust, the want versus need, and drawing the correlation between Constantine, who was the person that referred him to us, and I did it for about 15 minutes, and I shook their hands, and I left. Denise comes back into my office about an hour later and says, I said, how'd the meeting go? She goes, good. She goes, but I got to tell you, I felt really uncomfortable. I said, well, why did you feel uncomfortable? And she said, because you were so over the top. Now, my wife's saying this to me. She's kind of, she's kind of poking fun at me. And I said, okay, well, that might be true, but let's just see how it works. I said, please just remember, every time you hear the word thank you from them, please make sure that you remind them to keep you in their mind, and make sure you ask them for referrals. She's like, okay. So they go through and they buy a house, and Denise does a really good job. And they get to closing. And when they're at the closing table, Martin looks over at Denise and says, oh, hey, by the way, I need you to call Peter. He's one of my coworkers. He and his wife are looking at buying a house. And I said, how big of a loan was it? She goes, it's a $400,000 mortgage. I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. So bear with me here, and this is where it gets really good. I go, that's amazing. I said, how many times during the process did you ask him to keep you on top of mind, or how many times did you ask him to keep you a secret? And she goes, probably twice. I go, in a 60-day span, you only asked him twice? She goes, yeah. I said, well, work with me on this a little bit. I said, what do you think was the reason that you got the referral? Was it because I set the stage? And she goes, maybe. I go, was it because you did a really good job? She goes, I think so. I go, okay, go a step farther. If I had not set the stage and you had not made the requests, do you think you would have gotten the referral? She goes, if you had not set the stage and I didn't remind him, I'm almost guaranteed I wouldn't have gotten a referral, because I would have said thank you for it and we would have moved on. I go, had I not set the stage and you did a really good job, do you think you would have gotten the referral? And she goes, well, maybe. I mean, I probably would have had a better chance of getting a referral just because they would have. I said, yeah, you're probably right. I said, so it begs the question that if I don't set the stage like I did, and you didn't remind them throughout the process, inconsistently, but you reminded them nevertheless, there's a good chance, probably about a 50-60% chance, that you wouldn't have gotten them the referral, right? She goes, yeah. I go, so it begs the question of, you almost have to be an originator and be a loan officer at a high level in order for this referable process to work. Because if I don't set the stage, you're almost assuredly not going to get a referral, because people don't know you need the help. If you don't do a good job as a loan officer, you guaranteed aren't going to get a referral. So you have to perform both functions consistently on a regular basis with every transaction. Otherwise, your likelihood of getting future opportunities from the people who already know you, like you, and trust you is probably diminished by 50%. Can everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
So my question is that when you're interacting with your clients, when you're going through the process of talking to the client, not even a client that's your client yet, but a client nevertheless, a referral, a lead, if you guys are not setting the stage correctly from your very onset, you're missing the opportunity to take full advantage of what you do already really well, which is being a loan officer. Each of you guys in your own right does an exceptionally good job of taking care of the client through the process. That's the loan officer part of you. The originator part of you is the one that skips over the relationship conversation and the referability request just to get right into the meat of the loan process, which by doing a really good job doesn't guarantee you the lead or a future referral, but if you put the originator hat on in the beginning and you do a really good job as a loan officer, you're almost assuredly going to get a referral, and I think the statistics are almost 40 to 60% greater likelihood to get a referral if both of those pieces are in place and they're done consistently. So it goes back to what we talked about before. The reason a lot of us don't want to talk about that or don't remember to talk about it is because we do only think about ourselves as being a loan officer, not an originator. And the originator has to think more like, what am I doing for these people? I'm not really, a loan officer knows what he's doing or she's doing for the person, but the originator has to focus more on the why I'm doing it. I'm expanding my brand. Each of you has a brand, and that is your brand is amplifying relationships. Your brand, whether it's mortgages or anything else, is not about what it is that you do. It's about why you do it. And Adam, your message on Facebook isn't about mortgages. It's about relationships and how important they are. And the truth is that when you talk to a consumer that decides to work with you, the ones that really know you, like you, and trust you don't tell you that they do business with you because you had the best interest rate. They don't tell the friends and the family and the people they care about that they should work with Adam or David or Erica because of the rate. Because if that was the case, you'd get all the rate-sensitive people. More importantly, the people that refer you have nothing to do with your product. What they like is how you made them feel. And I know as touchy-feely as that is, you have to begin to start really analyzing the referral sources that you're getting business from. Look at the difference between their relationship with you and the relationship you have with other people that you talk to that aren't sending you business. And I think you'll find one general piece that's consistent with the ones that refer you. They trust you because they like you, and they like you because you guys share a common thread. There's something about you that you guys like about each other. Whether that be your friends, whether that be your mom, whether that be your previous coworkers or college buddies or whatever the case may be, even your past clients. I'm willing to bet you if Erica was to call up any one of her past clients that have referred her in the past or have come back, I'm willing to bet you that none of it has to do with rate or turn time or product. Would that be fair, Erica?
Yeah.
What would you say most of your past clients say about you that makes them want to either advocate you to the people they care about or come back and use you for a second or third time?
Probably. I mean, most of the time, I think what they like is that I'm usually always available.
Okay.
And
do you honestly believe that? So your availability is the one selling piece that makes you unique to anybody else that they could talk to?
Probably not the one, but I mean, I hope that I do a good job of making them feel comfortable and that they're with a trusted advisor, but I definitely think they feel like availability is what they like the best.
But I think what you just said is probably more realistic. You just said trusted advisor. In my honest opinion, I think you're selling yourself short. I think if you were to ask your assistant, or I don't think you have one anymore, I think if you were to actually do a survey and pick up the phone and call 10 of your past clients, and I would challenge you to do so, and ask them from a very humble standpoint, what is it about my business dealings with you did you feel comfortable referring or coming back to? And sometimes the easiest way to do that is listen to the people that have come to you as a referral. I always loved asking people what it is about me that somebody else said that made them want to call me. That was always my opening line. And I did that because I wanted to know what their hot buttons were. I think one of my texts or posts was exactly on that. The hot button that everybody has is very easy to uncover if you just listen to what it is about you they heard from somebody else. I'm willing to bet you, Erica, that probably half of the people that you talk to, if you call 10 of them, would say something other than because you were available.
You're probably right.
I think that's extremely. I think you're selling yourself way short. And Adam and David, I think it's the same thing. I think as you guys are building momentum with your referral partners, a lot of it has to do with what it is about you that you're trying to sell. I had a call earlier today, and it was your level of success is equal to the passion of your why. Meaning, why it is you're doing this has to be so clear and concise. If it is relationships, Adam, that is your number one goal. When you're interacting with your realtors, you're not asking them for leads anymore. You're talking to them about how I can amplify your relationships with your clients by doing such an amazing job for you that those clients that you refer to me come back to you and say thank you, which strengthens your business, which strengthens your reputation, and all I'm doing is doing what I promised you that I would do, which is take care of your clients for you.
Right.
I have a hard time believing that there's a realtor out there that doesn't seek the same kind of partnership that we want. Most agents are so disgruntled because of the bad, because of the level of quality or lack thereof of LOs in our business. They're disgruntled, they're tarnished, they have a tainted view of who we are. And when you finally break through that barrier and you get a realtor to sit down with you and really listen, you have a very limited time to be able to communicate your value. And your value isn't because I do FHAs, conventionals, you know, I have DPAs, I do jumbos, I do 80/20s, whatever the case may be. Your passion is, you know what, Mr. Realtor? Here's my goal. My goal is to take whatever client you provide me an opportunity to work with. I will make a promise to you that I will bring that client back to you, and they will rave to you about introducing us. And let's go into why that matters. Because at the end of the day, Mr. Realtor, how many clients have ever called you back and said thank you for introducing them to your lender? And ask yourself, what does that do to your business? If I can create a relationship with them that's referable, how many other lenders do you work with that have a referable process that yields future business out of working with them? I tend to believe that most realtors would be engaged with you at that point, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So it begs the question, if you fail to start the conversation off with any lead, with any level of what your brand is, which is building that relationship, or I call mine the triangle of trust, how hard is it to ensure that you're going to get future business out of the clients that you keep in the pipeline? Every one of you guys has closed a loan in the past 60 days. That loan that closed, I'm willing to bet you probably closed on time. It probably was communicated efficiently to. There was probably a listing agent on the transaction, and more than likely that deal came in based on a relationship that you had with somebody, whether directly or indirectly. Each one of those scenarios paints the picture of a trusted relationship. Each one of those scenarios represents an opportunity to yield another transaction. And I'm willing to bet you that not a single one of you has gotten an opportunity to go back and said, man, I'm so sorry, I missed the chance to saying to you what my business is all about. And a lot of it has to do with because we spend most of our time being a loan officer and not enough time being an originator. The Facebook post that you put up there, Adam, earlier this week, that was an originator conversation. The previous posts that you put up was a loan officer representation. You're talking to them about product, price, and that's very commoditized. You are not pushing product and program. You are developing a process that expands and amplifies people's relationships. People want you to be, they want to be thankful that they know you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys all have a computer screen up and running?
Yep.
You do?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna pull up something. Have we talked about the law of reciprocity before? I can't remember.
Yes, last week.
Last week? Okay.
Last week we did.
Did I pull up the actual law of reciprocity?
Oh, yeah, and I believe you sent it to us as well in a Word document.
Did I? Okay. So the whole point that I go back to is, in order to get people, and this applies to your referral sources. See, it isn't just the consumer that we're talking about. We're talking about your real estate agents. How many of you guys know what your real estate agents' real needs are? Have you guys had conversations with the agents and said, I want to earn your business, but I don't know what your pain is. I don't know what your struggles are. And some may say, I don't have enough business. Well, that's a very broad statement. People want to help you when they feel like you've helped them. I think Dale Carnegie, if you help enough people get what they want, they'll what? You'll get what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So my question to you guys is, are you guys getting enough business from the realtors that you're communicating with?
No.
No.
Nope. Does anybody have an answer as to why they're not getting the business from the realtors that they communicate with if they believe? I mean, each of you believes you deserve it, right?
Right. Maybe
What are the
not doing.
Go ahead. Go ahead, David.
Establishing what the needs that they have, what they're looking, what areas they need help in, and then coming back with showing the value that you can add to their business to help them grow by helping them with the things that they lack. I think that's one of the things that I can do a better job at to get more business from them.
I'm going to tell you that there's one other step that you can add to it, because what we don't want to become is people's pack mule, right? We don't want to just become somebody's assistant, okay? See, it goes back to the agreement. It goes back to the understanding that your business is built on results. I'm not opposed to helping somebody grow their business as long as they're committed to helping me grow mine. And when you meet with a realtor that you figure out their pain, it's okay to say to them, in return for me helping you, here's what I expect. And a lot of times we fail at doing that because we're too timid or too meek to believe we deserve it. But if you believe your why is to expand relationships and to help amplify them, there shouldn't be any reason why you're unable to have that honest conversation with the realtors. And let's be honest, guys, most agents aren't going to get this. Most realtors, I only worked with 6 agents in my entire career. For most of my career, I had no more than 6 realtors that I consistently worked with. I didn't want a ton of realtors. I never had a high regard for them personally. But as you're trying to build momentum, they're a necessary evil. But most of the realtors that you talk to, guys, they're not going to get this. They're going to see themselves as in a JOB. You remember how we talked about that little step ladder or that little staircase? Most of them aren't going to help you get to where you go. If you're the smartest person in your social circle, it's time to look for a different social circle. If you're the smartest person in your business world, it's probably time to change your business environment. If you're the smartest person in your referral group, chances are you should probably look for a different referral group. Most of the realtors that you guys are calling on probably are never going to be the referable sources that you hope they would. But a lot of us hold on to the hope that they might be, as opposed to bringing them to a point where you're looking at them going, I don't believe that you're capable of accomplishing what I need, but I know that I'm capable of accomplishing what you need. And obviously you say it in a cool way to the realtors, but if you're not having a genuine conversation with them about what your relationship means, you're fooling yourself. And they're hiding behind promises of crappy leads, avoiding your phone calls. They're not willing to refer you, they're not willing to refer you at all, whatever the case may be. So David, how many realtors do you talk to on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis?
Huh?
On a day-to-day basis, I mean, I talk to, it really depends on what I have going on for the day, but at least in between 3 to 5.
Okay. In your conversations with your realtors, what does the conversation sound like most of the time?
Calling them, asking them how everything's going. If I have a lead, with them, I'll update them on, the status of where we're at. If I'm, still waiting on getting initial documents, and then then after that, I go in and ask them if they know anyone that is looking to buy, looking to get pre-approved that they're working with.
Okay. Of the conversations that you have with a realtor every single day, how many of those 5 conversations yield in a referral at the time that you call them?
Not many.
Not many. Do you believe that the realtors don't have any leads to give you?
No, I don't believe that. If they didn't have any leads, then I don't think they'd be in business.
Okay, so it begs the question, do they trust you or don't trust you? I mean, that's really the only reason that a realtor wouldn't give you the deal, right?
Right.
Now, if you took the step farther and said, Mr. Realtor, is it something about me that you don't trust? And you put them into a position where they have only 2 answers, yes or no. No, I don't trust you. Well, that's a hard pill to swallow, but a path that you probably need to go down. But I'm willing to bet you that Adam and David, you probably haven't had enough experience where your reputation's been dragged through the mud at all. Erica, you've been in the business a little bit longer, and I'm sure there's been transactions with agents that didn't go as well as you would have liked. But the agents that tell you, yeah, of course. I mean, I can tell you some of the horror stories in my business. The reality is that most agents are going to go, well, yeah, I trust you. Well, then you can start talking more honestly about what is it then, if you trust me, that prevents you from referring me A, business, B, quality business. And then you put them in the position of having to make commitments of, well, it's because I have a friend that's been doing it for 20 years and I'm happy with their service. That's great. At least you have an honest answer. And then you can follow up with, what is it about that relationship that you love? What is it about that relationship that you wish was different? And that information becomes more ammunition for your next conversation with the next realtor you call on. But I think that you 2 gentlemen are still hiding behind a fear or an insecurity that you're selling something. And the truth is that you're not selling anything. You are a service provider. You are a relationship amplifier. Your job is not to do mortgages. As an originator, your job is to help people feel really good about knowing you and referring you. Your loan officer hat is where you get paid to do the mortgage. Your originator hat is where you amplify relationships and get people to want to talk about you. And if I'm honest with myself, when I'm picking up the telephone, I'm not talking to a realtor. I'm talking to somebody who needs my help. And not in an uncool way like I'm forcing myself on you. I'm calling because I know in my heart that I'm the best person to help you with your business. You just don't realize it yet. So if I'm hesitant in calling new agents, it's not because the agent doesn't want to talk to me. It's because I don't feel like I have any value when I talk to them. If you guys had the secret to closing more real estate deals, or let me rephrase it, if you guys had a list of 10 pre-approved buyers that were all $250,000 mortgages and home buys, would it be easy to pick up the phone and call realtors looking for who would be the best agent to give them the deal to?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It would, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
I'm teaching you the process of how to capture more buyers before they get to realtors. So if you don't have a stable of realtors in place that are referring you business, then you're not thinking about it the right way. Every realtor should be talking about should be, hey, listen, I've got a business model that yields referrals. It doesn't have one right now, but I promise you it will. And I'd love to refer a good quality agent, but I'd like to build a relationship with the right ones. So let me ask you a question, Mr. Realtor. Why do your clients like working with you? What is it about you that makes you so different? Come from a place of value. Come from a place of want. Come from a place of selectiveness. And the request is simple. We're both in a commission-driven industry, Mr. Realtor. Our success is predicated on whether we close loans or not. I just believe that there's enough realtors out there that I can partner with that make us better together than better apart. And I would love to find out if you're the right one. If you'd like a chance to work with me, I'd love to sit down and talk to you. And then from time to time, I'd like to catch up with you, see how life is going, and see if there's ways that I can help improve your business. That conversation is so easy to have when you're not selling loans, because you're providing value to somebody. You're not providing You're not self-serving yourself. Is that even a word, self-serving yourself? You're not self. you're not into self-amplification. You're into amplifying them. I don't know. That's just what I've been talking about all week. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Does it even resonate with you guys?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense.
What did you guys hear me say? What did you guys hear me say?
That basically you're coming to them saying, I don't need your business. I want to partner with you, and I want to make sure that, and I want to, and I want to see if you're a good fit for my business, and I want to know if you think I'm a good fit for your business, and I want to basically start a business relationship that where we both grow together, and close more deals.
And also showing them that you can provide them value, and that after working with them and their clients, they're going to be so happy with the way things went that they're going to refer them as well as you more business in the future.
Tell me that's not the most unpushy, or what's the word I'm looking for? That is the most unaggressive way to say I'd love to be your referral partner. Did you guys hear? No. You're not asking for the lead. You're asking for how can I help amplify your business? Anybody can close a loan, guys. Anybody can close a loan. If you're still in the business today, you can close a loan. But again, I'm not in the business of just closing loans, because that's just what a loan officer does, which is what a bank does, or credit union, and the internet. Those are just loan officers. They close loans. I'm an originator. I know how to amplify relationships. I know how to build business. I know how to make people stronger at their job. And I can promise you that when a client works with me, they're going to come back to you and thank you. And what that does for both you and I, it allows us to create a better brand for ourselves. Because believe it or not, if the real estate transaction sucks and the lending process goes awesome, we both lose. If the lending transaction goes horribly but the real estate action goes perfectly, we both lose. But if they both go together and they both work seamlessly with a great result at the end, we win infinitely. And how many realtors don't want an easy way to get more business? Every realtor would love an easy system to get new business. And if you tell them it's free and you start teaching them the stuff that we talk about, you guys are going to have realtors in your corner for life. You may not have 30 realtors, but I don't think you need 30 realtors. You need 5 to 10 strong producing realtors that refer you 1 to 2 deals a month. And if you're getting that, you're more successful than 90% of the LOs in our industry. Bam, that's the mic drop. Boom.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
I like it.
I really like the fact that, because I mean, I meet with agents a lot, and they're always asking like, what can you provide me? And lots of times I'll try to mention to them how I'm young, and a lot of my friends are going to be buying, and they don't have agents yet. So I would love to send them something and see how it goes with them too. Like I understand how this relationship works, but I like where you're coming from too, and how you give them the correct experience with the buyer. That alone is going to bring in more business for them, and that's the value.
Right.
I like that.
At the end of the day for you guys, and I know, David, you have a very unique situation. You are exposed, because your branch manager is a frickin' social butterfly. You are exposed to an endless supply of realtors. You literally could talk to 10 to 15 realtors, really 10 to 15 realtors a day. And if I was you, I would get on the phone and I would start hammering this script every time you pick up the phone and talk to these agents. Because if you don't, you'd be foolish not to.
I agree. I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll have a meeting with, like, Jay will sit on one of my meetings and that, and they'll be talking, and I'll be sitting there basically. I won't say a word, because these guys will be like, oh, I remember him and him and him, and I swear to God, Jay knows everybody. And
he does.
It by name, and it's crazy. Like when he sits in on a meeting with me, I hardly even talk. I mean, I hardly say a word, because he's talking with the other realtor, and they're talking about, if it's a realtor that's been in the industry for a while, they're talking about all these different people that, remember this guy was needed and that, and I'm just like, holy crap.
Hey, Dave. Hey, David.
Yeah.
Can I tell you,
yeah.
and you guys want, and Adam and Erica, this may not apply, but I think for David, this is probably the most powerful thing that can happen. You now have a reason to be able to talk, because now you can look at them and say, whether it's at the meeting or not, it's, do you understand the power of how a reputation propels or kills your business? My manager, my branch manager, has built such a high level of social capital in the real estate market that when I was offered a position in his side, his branch, my number one concern is to help amplify his relationships with the people that he already knows and the people that know him. So every day that I'm out here hammering the streets trying to build relationships with the realtors, I'm not doing it to help you so much as I'm trying to help make my manager, my friend, my mentor understand that he made the right decision in hiring me. And the byproduct is that if I get a chance to work with one of your clients, I'm going to make you look like a rock star, which in turn is going to help provide Jason with furthering his reputation. And if that happens, don't we all win?
Huh. That's a great way. I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Especially, I'm going to do that definitely.
Here's your brand. Your brand is amplifying relationships. I don't care who you're talking to. I don't care what the situation. If that's the first thought that comes into your mind, I guarantee you can draw a correlation to any kind of conversation that you're into with a relationship with a realtor. I don't care if it's at a B&I group. I don't care if it's at a Chamber of Commerce. I don't care if it's at a luncheon. I don't care if it's at a conference. I don't care if it's at a seminar. I don't care if you're on a symposium. That's the message that if you believe it, that's what you tell the realtors. That's what you get them to start listening to you by. And then from there, you connect the dots with who knows who and why it's so important to keep people's reputation and how it benefits them to work with you. Because you get it and nobody else does.
I agree.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. I love this shit. Come on. Guys, this isn't easy. It just requires you to apply yourself and be intentional. You guys are spending way too much time being loan officers. Start thinking like originators. Erica, you're well on your way. You don't even need to listen to this. You two gentlemen have to start thinking like originators. You guys spend too much time believing your job is to sell loans, and it's not. That just happens to be how you get paid.
Agreed.
Say that back to me.
Stop looking like a loan officer. Stop basically working like a loan officer and acting like you're selling loans, and act more as an originator, I should say.
And as an originator, what is your purpose?
Relationships.
And what is it about relationships that you do for them?
And provide excellent service.
You amplify them. You make people thankful that they know you. How hard is that? You guys do that anyway. Don't you do that in your personal lives? You guys have good morality. You guys have good character. You guys have good integrity. You guys are these people. So why the hell are you not using that? Why are you not using that as your selling proposition? Because you guys think that you guys think that selling loans is your reason to wake up in the morning. Hell no. You guys are much better than that. You guys are much stronger,
You're right.
bigger, and more driven than that. What's that, Adam?
You're right. David, I was just saying you're right. It takes a shift in mindset is what it takes, and that's what needs to happen.
And when you shift your mindset, talking to realtors and asking them for help, it's easy. Because you're not asking them for leads. You're not asking them to benefit you. You're asking them because it benefits them if they give you a chance to work with one of their clients. Right? And that's not salesy. Mr. Realtor, I'm going to do a great thing for your business. I'm going to make you look like a rock star. Because I'm going to make you look like the hero because you put them in touch with me. Because you know what? I'm kind of a big deal. You don't know it yet, but I'm going to do such a great job managing your clients' expectations, consulting with them, and negotiating that before this process is over, they're going to call you and say thank you. and I'm going to leverage them for a referral because that's how I've built my business. And if I get a chance to get a referral from them, that means we get a chance to get a referral from them. How many LOs do you work with that actually have a process that ensures that that's a 60% reality? How many? How many? Did I hear you say none? None, really? Wow. So if you trust me and you believe that I'm capable of doing this, all right, who's the first client that I get to work with? Shit, you guys, you gotta have fun with this. I mean, you literally can have fun with this in front of these agents. They're not going to have an answer for you besides, well, let's give it a shot.
Right.
What else do they have to lose? I don't know. I always had fun with it.
Yeah, I like it.
You guys like it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, good deal. All right, guys, that's my soapbox for the day. Oh God, I'm going to be late for my next call. Okay, you guys have a great afternoon. I'll send you guys the replay. If you have any questions between now and then, David, I know I owe you a phone call, brother. I have to get back to you. I'll catch up with you here in the next day or so. Okay, brother?
Sounds good, Doug.
All right, guys, make it a great afternoon. Enjoy your time. See ya.
All right, thanks, Doug.
See you later.
All right, bud. See you guys. Bye-bye.